ask Dr. Mart is, what is the new cutting-edge finding that can change our way of thinking about the field you teach?
Well, I think certainly technology has impacted our field a lot. It wasn't that many years ago, in fact, that people thought that physical educators didn't even need computers in their offices. They weren't like other teachers. They didn't need this technology, but now there's so much technology available that's being implemented in the physical education curriculum. We've got kids who can input their own fitness scores in a computer. We've got a lot of teachers using handheld technology where they can record assessments or do skill assessments with kids. They can input fitness scores. Physical educators absolutely need computers just like every other teacher. There's all kinds of cool things going on in the class, but as well there's a lot of things that are going on just with kids these days with, they call exergaming, where they're combining a child's love and the fact that they've grown up with video games, and now they're incorporating that into some physical activity like the Wii, the smart bike, game bike, all those types of things which encourage physical activity, which helps our field certainly, but also implements technology. So I think technology is probably the biggest thing that's impacted our field. But the other thing that's kind of interesting, I think, is people ask me all the time about the new PE. And the new PE is nothing more than the way that PE should have been taught all these years anyway. And those are the concepts, and you know these concepts of maximum participation and maximum success. We should have been teaching physical education the whole time just like that, but now all of a sudden it's in vogue and it's new to have every child involved and to have personalized kinds of fitness things for kids and to make all kids successful. But it's not really a new concept, it's not really new cutting edge, but it is new for some people's thinking and the way that they think about physical education.
Thank you. And one last question I'd like to ask you is, what would you want a student to remember 5 years from now?
Well, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now, I would always want a student to remember those concepts of maximum participation and maximum success. In fact, students tell me when they get out and they student teach or they're out there teaching, they always feel somebody sitting on their shoulder talking about that. And that's absolutely what we have to remember. We want all kids engaged, we want all kids with equal participation, we want all kids successful. Those concepts, I think, need to drive everyone's teaching and the way that they think about teaching, and certainly, you know, what is good for kids, what is good for my students today, what is good for my students tomorrow. So I guess the 5 years thing is insignificant for me. It's every day and for the 30-year teaching career.
Dr. Mears, what's the new cutting-edge finding that can change our way of thinking about the field that you teach?
Probably one of the biggest things that's changed in physical education and continues to change is the exergaming trend. The use of Dance Dance Revolution, the new Nintendo Wii, with the various sports games, with the Wii Fit, also technology in the standards of pedometers, heart rate monitors, those types of devices, and how they can enhance effective teaching in the field and motivate kids to participate.
Very good. And one last question. What would you want a student to remember 5 years from now?
Probably 5 years from now, I would want them to remember the key thing of to think beyond the traditional model of competitive sport when they think about physical education at the secondary level. Think about things that are lifetime, activities that could be practiced for a lifetime, continuing to stay on the edge of their field, taking yoga classes to learn yoga, taking Pilates classes to learn Pilates so they can pass that information on to their students, continue to look at those new trends so that we think beyond physical education being the traditional team sport. We think lifetime activity and teaching people to be active for a lifetime.
Great, thank you.